What's goody YTBC? What's good, fight fans? Boxing heads around the world. Be marched with another boxing video. So on this day in boxing history, June 9th, 1978, Larry Holmes challenges Ken Norton for the WBC heavyweight champion, title of the world. You know what I'm saying? The man, Larry Holmes was getting his first title shot, and Ken Norton was the champion. So how did these guys get here? You know what I'm saying? Well, the man, Ken Norton had the WBC belt basically because, how did he get it? Yeah, the man Leon Spinks. Leon Spinks had just beat, he beat Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? In Leon Spinks' 7th professional fight, he beat Muhammad Ali. And he decided to fight, Leon Spinks decided to fight Muhammad Ali in a rematch rather than face the #1 contender for the WBC belt, which was Ken Norton. You know what I'm saying? Ken Norton had fought in a WBC eliminator. He fought with Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young's a guy who fought Muhammad Ali, and he also fought George Foreman. He's actually the guy who retired Foreman the first time, you know what I'm saying? The first time George Foreman retired. All right, so Jimmy Young and Ken Norton fought, and Ken Norton won a close decision. You know what I'm saying? And Leon Spinks didn't fight. He didn't fight Ken Norton. He decided to fight Muhammad Ali in the rematch. You know what I'm saying? So when Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali, he beat Muhammad Ali for the lineal heavyweight championship of the world, plus the WBC and the WBA. So since he didn't fight Muhammad Ali, didn't fight Ken Norton, he got stripped of the WBC belt, and the WBC belt was awarded to Ken Norton. So Ken Norton really ain't have to fight nobody for that belt. He was basically just given the belt, you know what I'm saying? And how did Larry Holmes get to this position? Larry Holmes himself also fought in an eliminator with who'd he fight against? He fought with Ernie Chavez. You know, he beat Ernie Chavez, you know what I'm saying? You know, he beat him pretty easily, you know what I'm saying? It was a wide decision. You know, the scorecards were pretty wide on that fight. So that's how he got to this position. So now he got to fight the WBC champion of the world, who was Ken Norton. Okay, so that's how these guys got to this position, you know what I'm saying? And this was a great fight, ladies and gentlemen. Real close fight, man. I had this fight real close on my scorecard, you know what I'm saying? And we could get into the fight right now. Basically, in round 1, Holmes, you know, it was basically the battle of the jabs. Larry Holmes and the battle of the jabs. And Larry Holmes, in my opinion, has the best jab I've ever seen at heavyweight, you know what I'm saying? And one of the best jabs all around in boxing history from anybody, you know what I'm saying? And it was basically a battle of the jabs, you know what I'm saying? Very few right hands thrown by the man, what's his name, Larry Holmes, you know what I'm saying? But he did end the round with a vicious right hand, you know what I'm saying? Basically, kind of stole the round with that right hand, you know what I'm saying? And what you call it? Round 2, again, Larry Holmes seldom throwing the right, you know what I'm saying? But he's throwing uppercuts, you know what I'm saying? He gets caught by a couple left hooks by the man Ken Norton. But at this point in time, in round 2, the man is basically doubling his jab now. Larry Holmes is doubling his jab. He's moving around in the ring. You know, he's moving to his left, so he doesn't walk into a right hand of Ken Norton, you know what I'm saying? And he's using his movement, his legs in the ring. And Ken Norton's not doing a great job of cutting the ring off in the first couple rounds, you know what I'm saying? He's his aggressiveness is not effective, you know what I mean? In round 3 was more of an even round, you know what I'm saying? The first 2 rounds I did give to Larry Holmes. The round 3 was a more even round, but I gave Holmes the edge, you know what I'm saying? His hand and foot speed were much better than Ken Norton's, you know what I mean? And he was catching that man with the jab in this particular round, round 3. You know, his jab was looking more solid. He was looking more relaxed in there. Around 4 more uppercuts and a big right hand by Larry Holmes. You know what I'm saying? And the man basically is still stalking. Ken Norton is still stalking Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes is on his feet. He's on his toes. You know what I'm saying? He's moving around in the ring, moving toward his left. You know what I'm saying? Staying away from the man's right hand, Ken Norton's right hand. You know what I'm saying? And round 5, they begin to trade in the ring, in the middle of the ring. You know what I'm saying? Both of them throwing vicious right hooks, straight right hands down the pipe. You know what I'm saying? 1-2s. You know what I mean? Larry starts moving, and after they trade blows in the middle of the ring, and he catches the man with some nice right hands. You know what I'm saying? And even Ken Norton caught the man with some nice right hands at the end of that round. You know what I mean? Round 6, how did round 6 go? Ken Norton is still stalking. Basically, for the most part, for the fight, Ken Norton was the stalker. He was the guy trying to cut off the ring. You know, he had success in some rounds. In other rounds, you know, he was just basically following the puncher. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, his effectiveness was not aggressive enough. You know what I mean? And round 6 is Holmes is still throwing the jab. You know, that's basically his bread and butter, man. He's going to throw the jab all night. And he throws a big right hand that wobbles. Ken Norton throws a big right hand that wobbles Larry Holmes. You know what I'm saying? And this is the middle rounds. I had the man Ken Norton winning these rounds. You know what I mean? Round 7, the man Ken Norton's left eye is swole. You know what I'm saying? The man Larry Holmes is still moving and jabbing, fighting off the back foot. You know what I'm saying? Kind of fighting in a defensive style. You know what I mean? While the man Ken Norton is the more aggressive guy in that particular round. And Norton gets jabbed. He throws some jabs at the end of the round, some effective jabs. You know, and you know, I gave that particular round 7 also the I gave it to Ken Norton, you know what I mean? And round 8, the man Larry Holmes starts the round with 3 straight right hands, you know what I'm saying? Some right hands down the pipe, you know what I mean? Basically lead right hands, you know? And you know, lead right hands are pretty dangerous if you're fighting against a puncher like the man Ken Norton, you know what I mean? And Ken Norton throws a big left hook in that particular round, round 8, you know what I'm saying, to negate those 3 right hands he got caught with. And that hurt the man Larry Holmes a little bit. And now the man Ken Norton is throwing the harder punches, you know what I'm saying. Larry Holmes now needs to get out the way, and now he starts dancing, moving, and basically moving on his toes, you know what I mean, fighting on his toes, because he got hurt by that big left, you know what I mean. In round 9, the man basically, Larry Holmes, again, he's there with the jabs in round 9, you know what I'm saying, and he catches the man. Ken Norton catches Larry Holmes in that round with three vicious 1-2s, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it's not looking good for Larry Holmes in this particular round, you know what I'm saying? Because all Larry Holmes is doing is throwing the jab, while this man Ken Norton is coming more aggressive with the right hands. He's stalking with the hooks. He's also going to the body. Larry Holmes ain't really go to the body in this particular fight, you know what I mean? But the man Ken Norton was. He didn't start off going to the body, but he started going to the body in the middle rounds, you know what I mean? Round 10 was more of a slow round, more of an even round. Both guys ain't really do too much, you know what I'm saying? Holmes is moving and he's throwing one punch at a time, but Ken Norton is the more aggressive guy in that particular round, and I gave that round 10 to Ken Norton. Round 11, the man is, Larry Holmes is jabbing on the move, barely any power on his punches. You know, the man Ken Norton is throwing the harder hooks. You know, he's getting to the body of Larry Holmes. He's even throwing, you know, those hooks to the head, you know, hooks to the body, you know what I'm saying? He's mixing it up in there, you know what I mean? And round 12 is also another swing round, in my opinion. Not much action from both guys, you know what I'm saying? But Ken Norton still proceeds to throw them body shots. Round 13, you know, because this was a 15-round fight like back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Round 13, the man Larry Holmes gets aggressive, man. He gets more aggressive than he has the whole entire fight. You know what I'm saying? Numerous right hands. He probably threw more right hands in round 13 than he did in the whole fight combined. You know what I'm saying? He's rocking the man Ken Norton. Ken Norton's knees are buckling. He's looking wobbly. He looks like he has no legs under him. You know what I mean? The man Larry Holmes is going for the KO in that round, you know what I'm saying? And I give the man Ken Norton, he can take a shot because he was taking flush shots to the face, wobbling. I could have sworn the man was going to go down, man, like the way Jerry Cooney got him, you know what I'm saying? But the man is still in there, you know, he's still on his feet, you know, by the grace of God, man, this man is still on his feet, and I thought he was going to get knocked out, but it shows how resilient he was, you know what I mean? Round 14, Norton still has exhausted legs. His legs look weak, you know what I'm saying? He looks tired. He's breathing heavy. He's breathing through the mouth, you know what I'm saying? Holmes is the outboxer now in this round 14. He's not being that aggressive, but he's fighting from the outside. You know what I'm saying? He's using his jab, throwing occasional right hands. You know what I'm saying? And but before that round 14 ends, the man Ken Norton traps Larry Holmes in the corner and catches him with like 3 straight uppercuts, you know what I'm saying? And you know, in that particular round I gave it to Ken Norton, even though he looked terrible in the beginning of the round, you know what I'm saying? And Larry Holmes was being the outboxer, but Larry Holmes in round 14 was just throwing the jab, while that man Ken Norton got more aggressive and he landed more power shots, you know what I mean? And you know, power shots outweigh a jab any day of the week, you know what I'm saying? Around 15, these guys, they trade in the middle of the ring. You know what I'm saying? Ken Norton Knox, they trade in the middle of the ring and they throwing vicious blows. There ain't no defense in this round. There ain't none of that cross-face defense that Ken Norton usually has, you know what I'm saying? And Larry Holmes wasn't moving around using his legs for defense, you know what I'm saying? They were trading punches, and that man Larry Holmes catches that man Ken Norton catches Larry Holmes with a vicious punches and knocks his mouthpiece out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's where the fight turned, you know, because this fight was even on my scorecard, man. Whoever won round 15 would have won the fight. And it was the same thing on the judges' scorecards, because this fight was scored a split decision victory for the man Larry Holmes, you know what I'm saying? But when Larry Holmes got his mouthpiece knocked out of his mouth, you know what I mean? That's when he picked up the pace, and he seemed like he got angered by that, and he started rocking Ken Norton with combos and getting wicked with the man. You know what I'm saying? Hitting him with right hands, just straight up left hooks and punching him to the face. And in that round, that's round 15 is where I had Larry Holmes winning this championship. You know what I'm saying? That's where he got the title, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I had the man Larry Holmes winning that last round. You know what I'm saying? It was a great round, and I had the fight 143 to 142. That's how I scored the fight. You know what I'm saying? And this is how Larry Holmes became a champion. You know what I'm saying? And he was a champion from 1978 to 1985 when he fought Michael Spinks, you know what I'm saying? And Michael Spinks moved up from light heavyweight, and he beat the man Larry Holmes in a controversial fight, controversial decision, in my opinion. You know, both the fights with Michael Spinks, Larry Holmes versus Michael Spinks, were controversial decisions, and I had Larry Holmes winning the first fight, you know what I mean? And I probably had him winning the second fight against Michael Spinks, you know what I'm saying? But this is how he became the titleist, you know what I'm saying? And Larry Holmes never got to hold the WBA title, if I'm mistaken. He never got to hold the WBA title, but he did have the IBF. He was the first IBF heavyweight champion of the world when the IBF first came along in 1983. Alright, so yeah, that's this day in boxing history. This is a significant fight in boxing history. Heavyweight fight, one of the best heavyweight fights you'll ever see. And you know, I say it's one of the best and significant because Larry Holmes, you know, he went on to go 48-0 and was about to break the man Marciano's record. But you know, I feel he got robbed in that fight number 49 against against Michael Spinks. So, ladies and gentlemen, boxing heads and fight fans around the world, let me know what you guys thought about this fight on this day in boxing history. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comments section. Please subscribe, B Marsh Boxing, and if you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Alright, thanks for listening. Peace.